Hello, fifth graders. So you watched the story of Very Strange Land, and now you need to complete your assignment. For your assignment, you are going to create a powers chart. Or there's a blank one on Canvas that you may use and print off. But you'll need to show your work, how you got your answers, and I'll show you how to do that. So here we have the numbers 1 through 10. And then we have n to the power of 1. The n stands for number. So it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have a number to the power of 2, a number to the power of 3, a number to the power of 4, and a number to the power of 5. Let's do a couple of these together. And I think you'll get the hang of it and see that how it's going to work. So I'm actually going to skip ones for now. We're going to come back to that. We're going to go down to twos. 2 to the power of 1, it just means that there's 1 2. So we're just going to write the number 2. 2 to the power of 2 means that we multiply 2 twice. So it'd be 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Now we go to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 3 is not 2 times 3, but it's 2 times 2 times 2. So it's 2 multiplying 2 3 times. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Now we go to the power of 4. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Remember, it's not 2 times 4, because 2 times 4 is 8. So that was 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 4 is 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And 8 times 2 is 16. And then the last one is 2 to the power of 5. So it'd be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. And 16 times 2 is 32. As an option, you can do 10 to the power of 6. But it is not required. You could go 10 to the power of 7, 10 to the power of 8. Let's do one that's a little bit harder. That might take some, we have to do some work on the side. Let's do 8s. So 8 to the power of 1 is just 8. Anything to the power of 1 is going to be itself. Just like anything to the power of 0, like we learned in a Very Strange Land lesson, is going to be 1. If it was 3,256 to the power of 0, it equals 1. If it was 2 to the power of 0, that equals 1. 17 to the power of 0, 1. You catch my drift. Let's go back to 8s. 8 to the power of 1 is 8. 8 to the power of 2 is 8 times 8, which equals 64. 8 to the power of 3 is 8 times 8 times 8. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky, because we can't do this in our head as easily. We know 8 times 8 is 64. I don't know about you, but 64 times 8 is not something I can do in my head. So I'm going to have a sheet of paper next to me, and I'm going to write 64 times 8. And this sheet is going to be filled with math, probably by the time I'm done with this. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 3 is 51. So 8 to the power of 3 is 512. All right, let's do the next one. 8 to the power of 4 is 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. Well, we know 8 times 8 is 64. 64 times 8 is 512. Now we need to do 512 times 8. Eight times 2 is 16. Make sure you can see this. Yep. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 8 times 5 is 40. So 4,096 is 8 to the power of 4. Last but not least is 8 to the power of 5. 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. All right, so let's backtrack. 8 times 8 is 64. 64 times 8 is 512. 512 times 8 is 4,096. Now we need to do 4,096 times 8. Eight times 6 is 48. 8 times 9 is 72, plus 4 is 76. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 7 is 7. 8 times 4 is 32. Whoa. So 8 to the power of 5 is equal to 32,768. I ran out of room because I'm using marker. Wow. So you are going to do that for all of the rest of these numbers. Let's do one quick because I think ones are fun. Anything, 1 to the power of anything, as you'll see, is going to equal 1. So 1 to the power of 1 we know is 1. 1 to the power of 2 is 1 times 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 to the power of 3 is 1 times 1 times 1, which equals 1. 1 to the power of 4 is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which equals 1. And 1 to the power of 5 is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which equals 1. Ones are fun. Ones are easy. There we go. So you can choose to create your own chart in your graph notebook. You can print off this blank one from Canvas, or you could type this chart. But no matter what you choose to do, I expect to see a page full of math like we did with the 8s here. If you just turn in this chart, I'm going to assume you used a calculator. You can use a calculator to check your work. In fact, I think you should. But in order to do your work, you're going to need a whole bunch of multiplication problems on this page. By the time I finish this is going to be totally filled up with math. So we should see 2-page submissions for this assignment. All right, enjoy and have fun.